The Galactic Council had seen many strange things in its 12,000 years of existence, but nothing had prepared them for Lieutenant Marcus Webb. The incident began on the mining colony of Theta-7, a desolate rock on the edge of Vraxian space. The Vraxians were apex predators, 8 feet tall, covered in obsidian scales, with claws that could shred titanium and jaws capable of crushing starship hull plating. They were feared across 17 sectors, their warrior culture legendary, their mercy non-existent. Which made it all the more shocking when Marcus found the cub. The human survey team had been investigating abandoned structures when Marcus heard the sound, a weak, mewling cry from beneath a collapsed shelter. While his teammates urged caution, Marcus began digging through the rubble with his bare hands. What he pulled out made everyone step back, a Vraxian juvenile, no larger than a terrier, its scales dull with dehydration, its eyes barely open. "It's dying," Marcus said simply. "We're taking it." Commander Patricia Hayes tried to intervene. "Webb, that's a Vraxian. Its parents probably abandoned it because it was defective. The protocol is." "The protocol can go to hell, ma'am." Marcus cradled the tiny predator against his chest. "I'm not leaving a baby to die alone." The creature, whom Marcus named Stryker, should have killed him within weeks. Vraxian biology was designed for one purpose: violence. Their brain chemistry made them aggressive, territorial, and nearly impossible to domesticate. The Council's xenobiologists had tried for centuries. But Marcus didn't try to domesticate Stryker. He raised him. He bottle-fed the cub nutrient paste mixed with synthesized proteins. When Stryker's claws grew sharp enough to shred furniture, Marcus taught him to use scratching posts. When the young Vraxian's hunting instincts emerged, Marcus played chase games in the cargo bay, letting Stryker catch him and praising the youngling's prowess. The other crew members thought Marcus was insane. Then they noticed something unprecedented: Stryker was bonding. By month 3, the Vraxian cub followed Marcus everywhere, chirping, a sound no one knew Vraxians could make. By month 6, Stryker had grown to the size of a large dog and could tear through steel doors, yet he waited patiently for Marcus to finish his shifts, tail swishing with anticipation. The turning point came during a pirate raid on their transport ship. 5 Krellian marauders breached the hull, armed with plasma rifles and looking for easy prey. They found Marcus in the med bay, unarmed and apparently alone. The lead pirate's translator barked threats as he advanced, weapon raised. Then Stryker emerged from the shadows. The Vraxian was now nearly full-grown, 7 feet of pure predatory perfection. His scales had darkened to a deep midnight blue, a coloration the xenobiologists later confirmed indicated an unprecedented level of contentment in the species. His eyes, usually feral and wild in adult Vraxians, showed something else: calculated intelligence and absolute loyalty. The pirates froze. One of them whispered a prayer in Krellian. "Easy, Strike," Marcus said calmly, placing a hand on the Vraxian's massive shoulder. The creature could have bitten his arm off. Instead, Stryker leaned into the touch, never taking his eyes off the intruders. The pirates fled. Word spread quickly: the human who had tamed a Vraxian warrior. But Marcus always corrected them. "I didn't tame him. I raised him with love." The Vraxian Empire heard the story. They sent an ambassador, a scarred warlord named Kraith, to investigate. The Empire had lost track of thousands of culled cubs over the centuries, discarded as weak, and the practice was their deepest shame, though they'd never admit it. Kraith expected to find a circus animal, a broken creature stripped of its dignity. Instead, he found Stryker sparring with Marcus in the training bay, the human using an exosuit to keep up. The Vraxian moved with deadly grace, pulling his strikes at the last second, playfully batting Marcus across the room. When Marcus laughed and called for a break, Stryker immediately ceased, bringing his human a water bottle carried carefully in his jaws. Kraith's translator remained silent for a long moment. "This is impossible," the ambassador finally said. "Our cubs are feral. Untrainable. This one is." Happy, Marcus finished, removing his helmet. Stryker nuzzled against him, and Marcus scratched behind the ridge of horns that crowned the Vraxian's head. He's happy because he was never made to feel like a monster. Kratha's expression, unreadable to most species, showed something that might have been wonder. Or perhaps grief. We were told the weak must be culled, the ambassador said quietly. That compassion was inefficiency. Maybe, Marcus replied, you were told wrong. The holovids of Marcus and Stryker spread across the galactic net. Other species watched in awe as the human and Vraxian became inseparable partners. They saw Stryker gently carry injured crew members to the med bay. They watched him learn to play chess, using his tail to move pieces. They witnessed the moment a child approached fearfully and Marcus encouraged her to pet Stryker's scales while the massive predator purred, another sound scientists didn't know they could make. 3 years later, the Vraxian Empire quietly ended the culling practice. Krath himself adopted a defective cub, raising her with techniques learned from Marcus. Slowly, carefully, a warrior culture began to learn that strength could coexist with kindness. The council debated making Marcus an official ambassador. He declined. I'm not special, he told them. I just saw someone who needed help and decided to care. That's not diplomacy. That's called being decent. But the Empire remembered. They created a new word in their language, webkin, meaning one who loves fiercely. It became the highest honor in their culture. And in the quiet halls of the Galactic Council, representatives still whisper about the human who changed an empire with nothing more than compassion and a stubborn refusal to leave a child alone in the dark. Stryker, now a decorated officer serving alongside Marcus in humanity's exploration fleet, would sometimes catch those whispers. He'd bare his fangs in what other species feared was aggression. Marcus knew better. His best friend was smiling.